This is Las Vegas Real Estate Now, where we bring you the 3 E's: educate, empower, and engage. I'm your host, Harvey Blankfeld, along with our co-host, Shelley Brown, and we've been selling homes here in Southern Nevada since 1988. Shelley and I are also very proud to be part of the Real Estate Radio Network. That is a national network of local real estate professionals delivering timely, balanced truths about local market conditions. With Shelley and I in studio, we have Kari Phillips from Southern Fidelity Mortgage. She's a senior loan officer. They're actually their number one producer, and she's been in this business for the last 16 years. Kari, welcome back.
Thanks for having me again.
Today we wanted to talk about, you had brought to my attention the idea that an article you had read, written by the people at Moboto, about the 10 common myths of home buying. So I wanted to get into some of that today, if that's all right with you.
Yeah, let's dig in.
The first myth is you got to have 20% down to buy a house.
Myth, not a fact.
Right.
You can do as little as 0% down if you've got your VA eligibility, 3.5% down for FHA financing, and as little as 3% down with conventional financing.
But the truth is that you have to have perfect credit to get a mortgage, right?
No, you do not have to have
What?
perfect credit, Harvey. You do not.
Well, wait, can I have a late pay in the last year?
You can have one late payment in the last 12 months on your mortgage payment, and but it's not like they want you to have a good explanation. It can't just be, hey, you know what, I just decided not to pay that sucker. They want a letter of explanation. If you can't have more than 2 mortgage payments in a 12-month period.
But the only thing that determines how much you can borrow is how much money you make, right?
No, Harvey. Gosh, myth.
I don't know anything.
Well, a lot of things go into qualifying for a mortgage. Certainly your income, but you can make. People think, oh, I've got to make all this money to purchase this mortgage. I got to have a raise, or I've got to be making X amount. You can make very little amount with not a lot of debt if you don't have a lot of debt, but assets go into it. Have at least a 580 FICO score if you're buying as a primary residence, and a 620 FICO score if you're buying it as an investor.
When they come to you and they get a pre-qualification, that's the same thing as if they called up somebody and got a pre-approval, right?
Myth, Harvey.
Man, I'm
Myth.
over 4.
Pre-qual, pre-approval. You know what? People just throw that word around. Yeah, I got pre-qualled. Pre-qual just means that you called a loan officer and they took a little information over the phone and said, yeah, you know what? If you can prove this, you could probably qualify. It's actually on our approval letters. I mean, when we send out a pre-qual letter that says it's pre-qual and this is what it means, it's just, been through a...
I spoke to them on the phone. I got their social security number. That's it.
I mean, it's a little bit more professional looking, right, Harvey, but then the approval letter actually says, there's a big stamp on it that says this has been fully approved, and actually I sign it and the underwriter signs
it. It's like it bold.
One of the things here, it says that and the seller pays all the closing costs, right, Kari?
Myth, Harvey. Myth.
Like...
But, a seller can pay the closing costs when it's a primary residence or vacation home purchase, or an investor. There's a certain percentage that the seller can pay with each of those occupancies.
One of them is that the seller will make repairs based on the inspection. A home inspector goes in, creates a report, gives it to the seller, and the seller fixes everything, right?
Myth, Harvey.
Jeez, I just don't know anything about real estate.
I'm surprising you today. Well, I've seen it where, again, you guys are the experts on this, but in the contract you write a certain percentage that a seller will pay X amount towards repairs if required.
It's got to be cheaper to rent than to buy, right? It's cheaper to rent than to buy.
Myth, Harvey.
Ofer.
How did you know I was going to say that?
I don't know.
But let's say you have the same exact rent payment as your mortgage payment.
Right.
Let's talk about the other benefits of it for 10 seconds. The tax write-off.
Right.
You're paying into something that, you're owning.
Building equity.
Building equity. Interest write-off and everything else. It's great to own your own place, right?
You've been listening to Las Vegas Real Estate Now with hosts Harvey Blankfeld and Shelley Brown. Please tune in every Saturday at 11 a.m. right here on News Talk 720 KDWN.